Okay, so every investor worth their weight in salt always waits for the one moment, the golden moment where they can catch a stock at the bottom of the market and ride it on the way up, right? Well, GTA homebuyers, you're there now. We're at the bottom of the market. So, what are you going to do with it? That's the question today. Andrew the Realtor, beautiful people. It's my December 2023 GTA housing market update. Let me move myself out of the way here. So, here's the equation. Lowered fixed rates, which has been happening over the past month or so for many lenders, including the big banks. High variable rates, which you can check on any pretty much any rate hub or any one of those mortgage sites online, plus same average home prices you're going to see shortly as last year equals we're now at the bottom of the market. There you go, spoiler alert. So home buyers specifically, what exactly are you going to do with it? That's a question you're going to have to answer. And I'm going to give you some more information here. So let's move right along because I've been getting a lot of views for these recently, which is great. I really appreciate it. As always, I'm Andrew the Realtor. My intent, provide you guys with valuable information about the local housing market, not clickbait. You'll notice, by the way, I might say, that most of the videos you'll find about the market are down, plummeting, and all kinds of thumbnails with people going, oh. I don't do that here. I'm a professional. I give you the information and let you guys do with it what you will. So, local housing market information. And by the way, this December, I'm in the Toronto Star twice. So, feel free to Google my last name and Toronto Star. You'll find two of the articles. One about a fixer-upper that I'm currently working on right now in terms of listing. And the other is an interesting idea for you home buyers. If you think you can't get anything in the housing market and the GTA, well, I found 3 adult buyers. All 3 of them came together and bought a home in the GTA or just outside. And that worked out really well. That's in Toronto Star. So, guys, click like at the bottom, hit subscribe so you get more of these every month. Trust me, it'll make it worth your while. Onward. So let's talk interest rates. This is from November 20th, so way behind. Okay, this is literally a month from now, a month behind. But that's the point. Look, November 20th, lenders have been dropping fixed mortgage rates over the past few weeks, except for the big six banks. But that changed. And that changed this weekend. That was back then. At the end of November, since November, even earlier, Scotia, BMO, TD, lowered select terms, fixed rates specifically, from about 15 to 25 basis points. So the point being, even though Bank of Canada stayed put, what happened with a lot of the lenders? They have been going down recently. This is a rarity, by the way. It's very rare that banks, lenders, don't wait for the Bank of Canada to drop the interest rates before they drop theirs. But they already did that. That's very interesting. It's as if they're anticipating, almost saying, well, forget you guys at the Bank of Canada. We're going to do this because this is what needs to be done. And by the way, if you check variable rates, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, you will find that those variable rates are way higher than the fixed rates. Why would anyone have high variable rates? Unless they knew for a fact that interest rates are going to be going down sometime soon, and they want to get people, they don't want people to go up there. They want to be people in fixed rates so at least they can have higher rates for the next 2 or 3 years for the bank specifically. So take note of that. Fixed rates going down, variable rates high. That should tell you something. Buyers, pay attention. Okay, so let me get myself out of the way. Buyers are at the bottom of the market. Again, I'm going to ask you that question. So let's look at these numbers. This is actually really, really important on both the month over month and the year over year. So on the left, you'll find November 2023. So homes sold are only down 6% versus November of 2022. So why does it feel like it's so much slower than it actually is? And of course, that 6% is going to be called stumbling and falling and collapsing and all kinds of other names on the media in terms of the newspaper articles, newspapers, some of which I'm in, and CP24, all the usual kind of culprits, so to speak. Always going to be plummeting and falling. In reality, it's only 6%. It feels like a lot because of the number of listings new and active. Note to add as well, look at the blue circle there. It's only down, plus 0.03%. Average price year over year. The interesting thing is there, and this is actually quite not surprising, but pretty impressive, frankly. The GTA housing market, all this happening, the high inventory, look at the active listings. We're down to 16.7 thousand or 16,700 from before the month before, but versus November of last year, up 40%. So let's look at stay to the left. Look at these numbers here. So you got active listings that are 40% higher than this time last year. And you got new listings that are still higher, 16.5% higher. So all that inventory, No wonder the lower number of sales feels like it's so much lower than it actually is. It's because we have so much inventory. Last year was a slower month, and inventory was much slower. This time, this month is even slower, and inventory is way higher. So that's why it feels like it's absolute molasses and things aren't moving. Now, please note, again, the average price hasn't changed. So that's pretty astounding. That's across the board. Detached, condominiums, townhomes. Now, look at the month over month. And I circled a bunch of these more than usual because I want you guys to see this. Homes sold versus November versus October this year. This is this year. Down 8%. So sales are going down consistently. And from October to November, that kind of happens most years, but not quite probably this significantly. Average price, interestingly, down November versus October this same year. Showing that, there's less activity in general, but prices in general are dropping a little bit. Not so much versus last year, but in general. Buyers, take note. These numbers, because they're November numbers, we're in December right now. This is showing us where we are right now. This is how we got to where we are right now, which is the bottom of the market. Notice the active listings. Active listings at the end of October were almost 20,000, 19,500. Now, end of November, 16,700. They're actually less than that now, well into December. What happened? Did it all get sold? No, absolutely not. Some got sold. Some just got taken off the market. So buyers, as I was telling you, and I've been telling you the past 2 or 3 months, you had last month and the month before, in October especially, you had over 20,000 at one point. Active listings in the market that you could have taken advantage of because it's a slow market. Not everyone did because for some reason or another, they're not watching these market updates or they're listening to the news or listening to their friends saying, oh, just wait till the interest rates go down. Then you'll catch it. If the interest rates are down, what will happen to the prices? Almost immediately. What will happen to the buyer demand? Almost immediately. You guys already know the answer to that. You've been watching this probably. Notice property days on market, by the way. November, last month, versus October, the month before. From 32 days, which is pretty high, over a month average days on market, to 39 average days on market. Right now, as of right now, it's probably 39, maybe even 40 plus average days on market in the GTA. Some areas a lot less, which also means that some areas a lot more. If you're in the suburbs and you're a seller, you're feeling this right now, and you know this. So buyers, again, you have a month over a month average days on market. What are you waiting for? Prices are down from last month, from October to November of this year. Versus the year before, prices are pretty much the same. There's no more going down. And inventory is lowering down because of this time in the market. So you've got the holidays in your favor if you're a serious buyer, and you've got the market in your favor if you're a serious buyer. At some point in time, you have to really ask yourself, are you actually in the market to buy something, or are you kind of using different excuses not to make a big decision for your life? I don't think lightly. I know exactly what that's like, and please understand that if you need more information, you need somebody to help you, obviously you can contact me. Sellers, this is equally important. I don't want to leave you out of this equation. It might still, and this is from last month as well, it might not be about the price. You're noticing here the price year over year is not that much difference, a little bit lower than November versus October on average. So if you're priced correctly, and of course you need to really make sure that that's the case. If you price correctly, if the reason you haven't sold yet might not be the price per se. Yes, you could drop it in half and sell it, but then you're throwing money away and possibly going bankrupt. You don't want to be doing something silly like that. But it might not be the price. It might just be the lack of demand and the fact that buyers, hopefully who I'm talking to right now, haven't taken advantage yet of this amazing market. So onward. Quick summary, as I don't want to make these too long. But listen, buyers, again, or any of you who've even been thinking of entering the market, maybe you're thinking, you know what, it's going to be slow next summer, I'll go in. Or as soon as the interest rates start going down, that's when I'm going to go in because I can't afford this right now. Guys, again, you can't have everything. You can't have high inventory, low interest rates, and low buyer competition. No, as soon as the interest rates go down, demand, the competition is going to go skyrocketing. There are still multiple offer situations happening in parts of Toronto, the city, Toronto proper, right now. Even in this market, it's the suburbs that are a little bit slower in the outskirts of town. So what do you think is going to happen when the interest rates are actually lowered? Well, that's going to get even hotter, and the rest is going to be just as hot. So now you're competing with lots of people, and you're paying more for a house. Again, guys, take advantage. So everyone now can say that the rates will drop sometime in the next few months. Everyone's been saying that. Second quarter of 2024 at the absolute latest. That's a given. Even the lenders, banks, you think somebody who knows about money, the banks, what are they doing? They've already lowered the fixed rates even before Bank of Canada has gone down. Prices have maintained, as you saw, despite the slow market, and dropping significantly. Guys, honestly, I've heard from people, 20%, oh, it's going to drop another 20, 30%. And they gave me some very long, several sentences of paragraphs of reasons as to why that is. Well, because this commodity, this bank, this economy thing. Guys, what have you seen happen to the market so far this year? Molasses, slow as can be, and yet the prices maintaining. No, they're not at the height yet, as they were in 2022. I noticed I said yet. That'll happen next year. But prices have maintained. Guys, stop. Drop the fantasy. Not in GTA. Elsewhere, maybe in parts of Saskatchewan, Manitoba, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia. I've had some clients move out there. Absolutely. Lower prices, fantastic. Versus GTA here. In the GTA, guys, the demand is too strong. We're not going to stop immigration. People are not going to stop coming to the GTA. And, well, it's a great place to live, as you well know. Please, get rid of that fantasy. If you do anything else, get rid of the fantasy of the lower prices, housing being quote-unquote affordable. Guys, it's not going to happen. We're at the bottom of the market. It's the bottom of the market, plus it's winter. Two advantages for the buyer. And many sellers know it. Do you, buyer? Regardless, you've got about a 60 to 90 day window. In the spring, it's going to pick up. Maybe even a interest rate drop. If the interest rate drops and it's a spring market and it's nice weather, buyers, you know what's going to happen. You already know what's going to happen. Sellers, if you can wait, because then you can take advantage. Which takes me to you guys, sellers. Demand is temporarily weak. This is almost exactly what I put in last month, and it's still very much true. It's temporarily weak, guys. If you have to sell, you should really talk to me. But if you have to sell, again, it might not be the price. Make sure you price correctly, but don't be dropping price just because you're not getting it. Remember, average days on market is 39 right now. I've seen people give up at 18, 20 days and take an offer that's way too low. Not on my clients. You know what I'm telling them? Listen, unless you absolutely have to sell, in which case it's a life decision. It's a specific decision that you have to make. The price may not be the issue. Wait, there are buyers out there. Somebody, hopefully you guys are starting to wake up to this. If you're thinking of selling, make sure the exposure is maximum. Guys, I can't believe people aren't doing open houses and these kinds of things right now. I know they're a pain in the butt. Believe me, especially for some of you luxury homeowners. I know it's a pain in the butt. You got to put the things away. I mean, we're realtors. We're careful as to who walks in. People register. We make sure that these are professional people. We've been in the business a long time. We know somebody who can and can't afford a house. And no, it's not necessarily the kind of clothing they're wearing. You just get a feel for it. Plus, you ask questions when people come in because it's a private residence. That said, guys, you should be having open houses. You should be having people through the house. If you're not showings, you get people through the open house. If not open house and showings, you get them online via YouTube. You have to get exposure. Some of my listings. Check out my channel. Ask Andrew the Realtor. You'll see 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 views. I know. I'm not Joe Rogan. I get it. But look at the stuff. Look at the views. And that's not only here. You get other social media. The point is, a realtor's importance, that's a hint, is really important right now. What a realtor does, how hard they work, especially in winter. Right now, when you could be doing Christmas stuff, no. You got to work for your clients. That's what I do. That's what you sellers should be having. As always, you have to know your numbers and have a strategy. I talk about this every single time. I put this in every single time. Know the numbers, days on market. Know the days on market where you're buying. Know how much your house is supposed to be worth. Know the actual numbers. Not super duper higher than the market in 2022 numbers. No. What are the realistic numbers now? And then stick to them. It's probably not the price. If you're not getting lots of action, make sure you give yourself enough time and your house enough time. The equity is worth it. Don't throw your equity away. Keep it. Be strong. So, as always, guys, my intent, providing value. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. I know some of you do. I mean, some of you don't know me. Some of you obviously do. My information is going to be at the bottom. I'm going to leave a few links to things, information for sellers, information for buyers specifically, and of course, the calendar link there. Listen, 15 minutes. If you call me, it doesn't contractually obligate you to work with me for the next 10 homes purchases. There's nothing. It's just a conversation on the phone. Ask me questions. And even if you have a cousin in the business, listen, I wouldn't go in them necessarily, but you might have to. Feel free. Contact me. Tell me, Andrew, listen, I got a cousin. I get it. Ask me questions anyway. I'll answer them. I'll give you information for, the information that you need to hear. So other than that, guys, Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. Towards the end of Hanukkah. I missed most of Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah to you guys. Whatever you guys are celebrating, celebrate. Enjoy the time. I know it's not necessarily snow out there right now, but hey, enjoy the nicer weather then. I'll talk to you guys in January of 2024, if you can believe it. Take care of yourselves.